Hello again, everyone. This is Ken Kibler with eTruckBiz. I want to thank you for joining us today. We're still about a minute shy of the top of the hour, and the attendee list is growing. So if everybody could sit tight for a minute, we'll get going. We're going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter today, but at the same time, want to make sure we cover some information that you find valuable and useful for your business. So please sit tight. All righty, we have reached top of the hour. The attendee list seems to have leveled off. Once again, this is Ken Kibler, Director of Training and Client Support for eTruckBiz. The new title, so make sure that I get that out there. So today we're going to cover some of the normal topics once Jeff starts to share that screen out there, and then we will get going. And as always, please, if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A in the chat so we can handle them at the end. So without further ado, I will turn this over to Jeff.
Right. Guess what, Ken?
Are you sharing yet?
I'm not. Stand by.
Standing by.
There you go. Does that work?
Yep.
And guess what else? eTruckBiz is not endorsed, sponsored, approved, or otherwise affiliated with FedEx Corporation. Stand by. So if we look at the volume trends for last week, okay, we had a big dip for 4th of July, but yep, pretty good comeback. That's good. Packages back in there. Look at that above the trend line, which is also very good. But over on the delivery side, yep, same over there. Good rebound. Delivery packages above trend again. Pretty good sitting in the middle of summer, even though there's been some dips. That's okay. Let's look at the productivity. Or can we demonstrate driver methods proficiency? Maybe we ought to put that up one of these days here. I got people telling me, no, that's not in there. I guarantee it's in there. It's an attachment A2 Schedule A, section 6.2. For those of you who are about to face optimized CSAs, that's the new thing. Did we ramp back up under control? So, okay, that's, oh no, look at all those routes we put out there and.
Ouch. Gave some back.
It's like there's a need for some training and client business support there. Ken.
Concur.
So Ken wants to know, how many stops per dispatch do you have out there today? Do you know? Do you know? I think you know. Do you know how many stops per dispatch do you have out there? If not, what's it costing you to not know that? All right. In the news, uh-oh, look at that. There goes the stock price. Wildly taking a swing upward. Somebody knows something. The trend is your friend. Did you pick up a few shares yet? I'm not telling you. That's supposed to be 312, I guess. But anyways, I would never tell you what stocks to buy, but I'm just curious if you've picked up any here. Some analysts are calling for 600 plus in a few years. I wonder why they're doing that. Just saying. So if your business is going to grow along with FedEx, because they're, along with saving money, let's just say that stock price is going up for some sort of reason. Are you gonna build? Are you going to, what am I doing? Are you gonna grow your business along with what FedEx has in store? And if you are, what would be a good investment that you can make in your business? Would it be trucks? Maybe. But trucks depreciate. We can have this argument all day long. Should I buy a truck? Should I lease a truck? Whatever. They cost money and they depreciate. They're tools. They're not investments. Should I invest in a new CSA or some new area? Well, it looks like FedEx is gonna give existing CSPs in good standing as much as they want. We said this a few weeks ago. We're gonna say it again. It looks like most of the openings are going to try to be filled with current folks, not necessarily allowing new contractors in. So they can't not do that, but they can try to indirectly make that happen, and that looks like it's gonna be the case. So you have a service-based business, right? And it's gonna grow, maybe a lot. Wouldn't it make sense to invest in your operation or your service? Because that's what you provide, a service. You provide a service to your customer. Wouldn't it make sense to make an investment in that, not necessarily things that depreciate? If so, investing in your people, systems, and processes makes the best business sense. At least we think right now. And more specifically, what about your BC position? When's the last time you thought about making some sort of investment in your BC? Did you know that FedEx's cost model assumes one full-time BC per 14 average dispatches per day? So what that means is, let's say you average for some reason 10 dispatches a day. In this case, FedEx doesn't necessarily think that you have a large enough business yet that you could have a full-time BC. So there's that situation. So what if you're under 14, or maybe you're somewhere in between? Maybe you have 24 or something dispatches per day. What do? I got a full-time BC. Do I have 2 full-time BCs? Some of you have 3 full-time BCs. Some of you have had 5 BCs, whatever, who knows? So there's all this question about how many BCs and when should I have one, right? You want to look for ways to cost effectively supplement your BC function to make it more effective. So you don't necessarily have to hire lots of BCs. There's other ways to do that. Now, this is real important, and this is something that we've seen now in a lot of ways here recently. You want your BC to be able to focus on what we'll call revenue producing activities, right? We don't want the BC focusing on non-revenue producing activities. Those are bad. If you have your BC focusing on revenue producing activities, that'll help you grow and control your business in the not too distant future. From that stock price, you're going to see something here pretty soon. You may want to explore how to create a lead driver position to handle training newbies. So I know some of you already have lead drivers, but having a BC is not necessarily the same thing as having a lead driver. So if you have questions about that and you want to get a hold of Ken and Bob here, see here in a second. You want a structured, repeatable way to grow and control into the future. So this is all about, today I got what I have today, that's good. But how do I go into the future? Ken, are you paying attention?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, that's what I thought. You can make this happen by using our ASM program to handle non-revenue producing activities. Okay. Bob's going to show us a tool here in a second that can be used to help structure, guide, and direct BCs and lead drivers. So we've had a lot of folks asking about this. And if I can figure out how to send it over, Bob, he's going to show you something. Oh, wish me luck. See if I can get it over Bob.
All right, here we go. This here is called daily, weekly, monthly management routines. A checklist. Yes. Oh, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, what it is, this first portion is all daily routines that your BC should be doing right now. And if they're not, it'd be a good idea to get them on it. That way stuff doesn't start falling between the cracks. Because when they start falling through the cracks, eventually that crack is going to fill up. And once that crack is full, then it's too late. Because FedEx is coming down on you hard for something. But we got daily routines right here.
Hey, Bob, can you enlarge that a little bit?
Yeah, here we go. There we go. And two, any of these boxes that are checked are services that we can help you guys with. We've got, you know, your daily routines and such thing as, you know, your 5-minute morning, you know, meeting with the drivers in the morning, 5 minutes, making sure they're doing their pre-trips, going over the previous day's performance, time definite tracking, 8:30s, 10:30s, 12s, and then you got your 5s and your 8 o'clocks, which those are usually not too much of a problem, but the first 3 are. You know, tracking your service issues, your pickup compliance, your on-call pickup monitoring. That's going to be coming up for some of you. Your vetter coaching, that's something that we can help you with, along with the timekeeper usage. And then we've also got the peak performance program also that we can help you with. You know, previous days performance review, stops per hour versus what your goal is. You know, we can give you guys that feedback. But all of these items are just daily. I want to be nice. I'm sure too, the biggest thing is if you're not doing these things, you know, we urge you to start doing them. Because if it's, and delegating to your BCs, if you got multiple BCs, you know, whose job responsibility is what? Because if you're not, then it's the whole story of anyone, someone, no one, you know, that story. No one did it because they thought someone would, so on and so forth. Got to have down on paper. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen.
As you can see, this is an extensive checklist. And as Jeff said earlier, 1 BC for 14 routes dispatched. So there's a lot going on for your BC. If there's stuff that you can take off their plate that is not revenue enhancing or revenue producing, definitely would encourage you to do that. And then that way they can focus on, as Jeff said, producing revenue, making your business more efficient. So there are definitely some tasks that you can outsource here, but there's a lot on this list. And as Bob said, very easy. If you don't have them listed and you're not doing it, following it, for stuff to fall through the cracks.
We get down here into the monthly, and with the monthly, and then there's some quarterly stuff that's not listed, but some quarterly, you know, your compensation and just your engineering, you know, just reviewing that type of stuff. That's something we can help you with. But if you look at the monthly, I mean, almost everything we can help you with. So then, you know, you're working on, and even the weekly. Then your BC's just got, you know, they got to focus on the daily stuff. You know, making sure that the drivers are productive, making sure that they're, you know, out there on the road long enough to bring in their revenue that, you know, that you're planning for. Making sure that the pickups are all made. You know, service issues, looking at that DSW and, okay, why do we have an O2 today? Can we call and save that package from coming back and taking it back out tomorrow? Because you're not going to get paid anything extra for it. Let's get it delivered today. 04s, 27s. Why do we have any 27s? But look at that stuff. Let's get everything serviced today versus bringing it back and having somebody else look it up. If we can do that, doesn't take that long to make a phone call. But there's just a lot of stuff that we can help you with. And again, don't wait till you're so deep that you don't know which way is up.
Yeah, our goal
If you
here
ever
isn't to take away a job from a BC. Our goal here is to have you right size your management operation and maximize the performance of your BC that's going to most benefit the financial performance of your operation.
And that's
Okay, Bob.
all I got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you somehow send it back to me? I don't know. Oh, I get it. Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. How do I take it back?
hit share screen.
I think I did, but it says host disabled participant screen sharing. Am I the host? Anyway, just
Try it now, Jeff.
right
See
now.
if you can get it back.
Wait a minute, what'd you do?
I allowed multiple panelists to have screen sharing possibilities. There you go.
So it wasn't your fault.
So it wasn't my fault. Or maybe it was, but oh well.
Dennis getting the blame.
That's right. Let's see if we can do this. So anyway, point is, hopefully, a lot of you have looked into this so far. We're trying to keep up with getting you signed up. That's good. But and I'm telling you, there's going to be some major announcements coming, and now would be a great time for you to look at getting into this program. And we think your friends at FedEx are probably going to suggest that you do this. And our ASM program, of course, has the Administrative Service Manager, Payroll as a Service, driver recruiting, onboarding, fleet admin, Veeder admin, schedule admin, and then KPI monitoring. So as Ken said a little bit, this program is designed to take, again, non-revenue producing tasks basically off of a BC's plate so they can help you produce revenue and help you with the complexity that's about to happen with most of your operations. And there's all kinds of stuff out there about, well, this region or terminal is going to go optimized next. Yes, no. Now they're pushing it back 3 months, 3 years, 3 days, who knows? Quite honestly, it's very volatile right now. It's very dynamic. They're changing things as they go, and it might take longer to get there, but it's coming no matter what. However you want to look at it, it's coming. So let's see, Ken, if Oh, your business will be growing exponentially. Hint. Now's the time to consider upgrading and improving your leadership. And if you want, you can get a free copy of that checklist that Bob showed you to get your BC going on a checklist kind of thing. If you book a session with Becca, so we can show you more about the ASM program. So Ken, let's see if there's any questions.
Yeah, there was one just asking about that checklist, so I think we just answered that, and that is fantastic. That once again, free copy of the checklist just by contacting Becca and setting up an appointment. I think that's important. And as Jeff said, complexity and pure volume growth is going to happen. Looking at a couple contracts right now from some people that are getting these optimized CSAs, they're going to see 20% increase in the overall stops. But I can tell you, they're not seeing a big increase in revenue per stop. So if you don't gain efficiencies, your revenue per dispatch will go down. So that is why it's absolutely critical that your BCs are focused on revenue producing events such as training new drivers, holding drivers accountable to productivity standards and service standards. Because if in certain operations, your margins will be severely damaged if you do not achieve the service bonus for the time definite shipments that that have to be delivered by 10:30 and noon. And normally those shipments are going to make up about 5 to 6.5% of your total stops. So, and like I said, in some instances, they're expecting that optimized CSA to produce more stops per dispatch than you're currently doing in a normal CSA. So if your BC's running around just doing recruiting, MMRs, recruiting, very, very important. But if you can outsource that and have them making your operation more efficient, more productive, you're going to come out ahead in the long run because you're going to need that extra revenue per dispatch. And a lot, many people have 3 BCs for 14 routes. Jeff showed the model. It's 1 for 14. Okay. FedEx might tell you it's 1 for 10, but maybe if you only paid $50,000. So got another one. Bob, it sounds like a GUI version isn't available at this time. I would like the form highlights, but is it scalable in its current format? Can we, Bob, can you sync up with
Just so
Subway?
you know that we're talking about putting that in the system.
So yeah, it would be a form in the boss. So, but Bob, could you reach out to Doug White, please? Hello, Bob.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, thank you. We got. Are there any other questions out there? Once again, not everybody's going to have these time definites coming here at the end of July. Some people are. And then I think there's plans for significant increases by the end of the year, correct, Jeff?
Well, we'll see, because different things have been, one day it's one thing, one day it's another, but they're coming one way or another.
So the best thing you can do is prepare your business before that happens and have these in place, because you can improve productivity and efficiency can never hurt your operation. Definitely one of those things that can never hurt you. Oh, we do have a question here. When you say optimized, are you referring to 2.0 express volume? Yes. They are giving packets out now that will list packages and stops by each service type. 10:30 noon, 7 or 1700, 8 p.m., as well as just standard ground, standard pickup. And it says that there's like a couple different categories that they do expected stops per dispatch ratings. You know, and normally we've seen the optimized with time definites be less than just an optimized CSA per se. But I saw one today that actually they're expecting an increase with the time definites in there. So they're each packet is different. Okay. And do you have anything for contractors that are already doing 2.0? Jenna, we had the checklist that we put out from before, correct?
We do. We have a daily, like hour by hour checklist.
Correct. Is there any way we could release that again?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me see if I can find a link. Hold on.
Awesome. So Edward, we can get you something on that because I think it's extremely helpful. It structures your BC day on focusing on basically throughout the whole day. So, and it is a hour by hour checklist. So thank you, Jenna.
So Ken, just to make sure, so there was we'll call it the first phase of we'll just call it the experimental phase of the time definites that came out, right? So there was this for, I don't know, 6-9 months now. That's good. But after June 1st, now they're referring, well, when they put some of the express terminals put the volume together, they're referring to those as optimized CSAs, which is, it's a little different because there's specific contract language now. There's new charges, I believe, that are negotiated. Guess I have to ask Carrie that. Aren't there 2 new charges? If she's listening.
You have, yeah, you have a service.
Yeah, but
Go
they're
ahead,
not
Kim.
negotiated. Oh,
they
I'm
just tell them what
sorry. Yes, they are received in their information packet for the optimization contract. And as far as we can tell up till right now, they are not negotiated, but that is not to say that it won't happen in the future. It's kind of like when they started the e-commerce, it wasn't negotiated at first or in the settlement, and, you know, evolving over time, they made it a separate part of the contract. So I think it's the same thing this time. They're trying to make it easy to get this going, and then later probably it will change to negotiated items.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They changed a lot of things about this so far, so
And it does complicate your negotiation. I know Carrie's working on a couple right now that are, some of them are a little bit of a head scratcher. Encourage you to get some help through that negotiation. Carrie is the foremost expert in the country on negotiations. There's no doubt about that. So she can help you with that. It just adds a couple wrinkles, and at the same time, if we help you and we might tell you to, hey, it's time to get BDS involved or your station manager involved, because like I said, there's been some extremely strange offers out there. So don't do that on your own. All right. For everybody, Jenna did put in the chat that express integration and engineering checklist. Once again, that's an hour by hour checklist of what your BC should be doing on a daily basis. Should be very helpful if you're already doing that. And if you're going to start at the end of July here, start working it now. It doesn't look like we have any other questions. We will be back here again next Tuesday, as Jeff said. The announcements coming out of Pittsburgh are coming rapidly and coming in different directions. The only consistency probably has been inconsistency with the message. Would you agree with that, Jeff?
Been a challenge, yeah.
So they're changing directions, due to need. But the best thing you can do for your business is have it prepared to handle these time definites, have processes in place to handle the time definites and the tools. And I can tell you the eTruckBiz tools for the eRoute and the Optics app and the BOSS system for tracking time definites for the 1030 and the nudes is unparalleled. If you haven't used our system yet, definitely encourage you to get started, because it will help you track your time definites and produce better results in your operation. So with that, anything else to add, Jeff, Kerry, or Bob?
No, sir.
Well, thank you everybody for your
Yes, sir.
time. Look forward to working with everybody in the future, and hopefully speaking FedEx for you as they continue to send out some different messages. So have a great, safe, and profitable week. Thank you very much.